How would you like to go to college and then have the school offer to pay back the loans for you depending on what your income is when you get out of college?
Beginning in the fall of this year, Spring Arbor, a private university in Michigan, is offering to help incoming freshmen pay off their education loans once they graduate if their post-education graduation income doesn't measure up.
Larry Winget is a best-selling author and is a straight talker. Larry, what do you think about this deal for those students once they get out if they don't get the job they want?
Hey, you know, this is a heck of a deal. I've heard of no-fault auto insurance and no-fault divorce, but now we got no-fault education.
Well, not exactly.
Listen, I can go out and I can get the education, then I decide I just don't want to apply myself in the job market, go home and live with mom and dad, join the Occupy movement, play my tambourine on the corner, and somebody else will pay back my student loans. Right. Heck of a deal, isn't it? What is that teaching our kids?
What do you think it's teaching our kids? We should point out that if you don't make a certain amount, I think if your income is below $20,000, you get reimbursed, and then it goes up to $37,000. If they educate you and you're not making enough to fit between that scale, they've got this repayment program. As a parent, I would imagine it would be nice to know, okay, if we're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars getting our kid into a college, if they can't get him a good paying job, maybe they should help him.
I totally disagree with that. They should not help them. See, how well you do in the marketplace is based on how much you apply yourself in the marketplace. This puts all the burden back on the university to make sure that the kid does well after they leave the college. That's sending the wrong message.
Right.
You can't guarantee that whole thing after they leave your school. Your obligation as a college is to make sure you provide the education. It's the obligation of the kid to make sure that they go out and work. And you see, you're compensated based on how hard you work, how well you get along with your customers and your coworkers and your boss, whether you show up on time, whether you do well in the job. And that has nothing to do with your college education.
We should point out that it's a private institution, so it's not like taxpayer dollars are going to pay back these loans. It's the school making the choice. Does that change it at all for you?
Nope. This still puts the college in the business of not doing the education, but making sure that kids get a job and do well in the job. They're trying to guarantee something they can't control, and I don't think it's possible. And so we need to go back to the whole issue of personal responsibility. If you take out the loan to go to school or buy a car or buy a house or take out a credit card to buy clothes, that loan is your responsibility, no one else's. It's up to you. And when we let kids skate on that whole idea of personal responsibility, we're going to end up with a society that's never going to take responsibility. It sends a bad message to the whole country, and it's certainly not a good thing for these kids or these parents. These parents better get used to these kids moving back into their bedroom.
We should point out that apparently this plan is going to cost the university $12,000 per student to essentially have this kind of insurance. Larry Winget, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir, for joining us live today.
Hey, thank you.
You bet.
By the way,